So you're thinking about moving to Bend and you want to learn about the east side as opposed to the west side of town. We talk an awful lot about the west side in many of our previous videos, but today it's all about Stevens Ranch, one of the largest master plan developments in Oregon's history out here on the east side of town. We're going to be discussing the impact of what this development really means for Bend in this video. So if it sounds like it's for you, stick around. We're getting after it right now.
This is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, the new developments of Bend, Oregon and the surrounding areas, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what's going on here in Bend. My name is Zach Nutter. This is Ryan Rudloff. We are both licensed brokers with eXp Realty in the state of Oregon. We've lived here for over 30 years and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Love to connect with you, teach you more about this amazing place, share with you why we love living here so much. With that being said, we're going to give you an update of what's happening here in Stevens Ranch. There's houses that are going vertical. The library's going up. This is a very, very exciting time for the east side of town. So we're excited to show you what the heck's going on. We're going to motor on and show you guys what's going on.
So we're out here at Stevens Ranch. And again, this is the largest master plan development in Oregon's history. It's absolutely nuts. 640 total acres divided into two phases. Right now, they're focused on phase one, of course, 360 acres, and the homes are right behind us. Feels like they were just lots about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Now they're just shooting up like crazy. So this project is ongoing and it's coming along very, very quickly.
So we are on the east side of Bend. So 27th used to kind of be the divide where city turned into county. This area, I don't know when they actually annexed it in, but this is a huge development. You can see clear east of town. You can see the whole mountain range, Bachelor, the Three Sisters. You got a great view of Pilot Butte. This is a really awesome view out here, but this is super unique for this side of town. We're gonna have a bunch of mixed-use commercial, a library, an elementary school. It's really exciting to see all these plans coming to fruition. As you can see behind us, we've got 4 houses that are vertical. I believe these are D.R. Horton houses. You're gonna see houses going up here like crazy soon. I don't believe they have pricing on these yet. As their pricing comes out, we'll update you guys. This is going to be a really cool place to live, like we talked about. Lots of mixed-use commercial. Just across the way, Reed Point, I think is what they're calling it. Cascade Lakes Brewery. There's Axel's Tacos. There's a bagel shop. There's a Greek place. That's all new. A lot of businesses are really turning to this side of town because they know, just like what happened over on the west side of town, a lot of those little mixed-use commercial areas have really changed things, and there's a lot of development that comes around the new school. There's a new high school right over here, so super excited about this. We're going to pop around and show you a bunch of the stuff, but 4 vertical houses up here. A couple of years from now, there's going to be 5-6 years from now, there's going to be 2,600 houses out here.
Yeah, crazy.
School, library, all kinds of stuff. So super, super excited about this place.
Okay, so we drove around, hopefully gave you guys some perspective as to just how big that tract of land is. Obviously, you can envision what 640 acres looks like. This particular first phase is about 360 acres, but it's going and it's gone. It's come and gone very, very fast. You got the first slate of homes that are up under construction. They're almost done. And I would envision them being on the market here in the next 2 to 4 months. So we'll just have to wait and see what that looks like. Pricing is probably going to be some, obviously comparable to the east side of town. So we want to show you guys kind of what that looks like from an aerial standpoint, as well as just some of the media hype that's really been gravitating towards this project over the last several months, because it is a big deal. It is the largest master planned community in Bend's history and one of the largest master plan developments in Oregon's history. So Bend is on the map in just competing with other larger metropolitan areas in Oregon. Now, there's not too many of them, but of course Portland's much bigger. And then Eugene and Salem are, we're closing the gap on them in terms of our population. So it's pretty interesting. This article came out in towards the end of spring, early summer. Stevens Road tract developments on the way, bringing 2,400 housing units, and it was just recently updated just a couple weeks ago. But what it's going to tell you is a lot of what we've already explained. 360 acres just east of 27th Street, over 2,400 units, 20 acres of which will be deed restricted affordable housing, including some that would be set aside for teachers and employees of school districts, which is a great cause and a great way to help more qualified teachers get in here, because we're going to be building more and more schools, including in this development. We're going to have an elementary school, so that's very interesting. If we scroll over here, this is going to be D.R. Horton, and they are the first developer and the first builder of the first phase of homes right now. And they're the ones that we saw and we kind of walked right by when we were out there. But hopefully this gives you guys some perspective as to where we're located. I'll show you on a map here in a second as well. This is looking westbound. You can see the mountains up there. You can see Pilot Butte right here. This is where Costco is today for about 2 months. Okay, we got 2 more months. October 19th, it's going to move, and it's going to be like way back here. This is the north end of town where that arrow is. That's what that represents. Here's Aubrey Butte here. So this hopefully gives you some perspective. We're on the east side of town. This is 27th Street here. 27th Street was installed years and years ago as a means of getting around Bend or through Bend without having to go straight through Highway 97, which was 3rd Street. A bunch of stoplights, semi trucks would pile through there, etc. We got the Parkway installed in the late 90s. And then early 2000s, which helped alleviate some of it. And then just recently this year, we actually had some updates on the north end of the Parkway to help alleviate traffic even more. But anyway, this is what the tract of land looks like. We drove by it. You guys saw some of the B-roll that we recorded for purposes of this video to give you an understanding as to where we're at in terms of the development of this project. If we go back to D.R. Horton's site here, what we'll see here: welcome to Stevens Ranch, a magnificent new home community in Bend, Oregon. D.R. Horton, presenting 7 different floor plans. Okay, interesting there, that range in 1 and 2 level homes that go all the way up to 2335 in terms of square feet. I think the lowest square foot is going to be roughly 1,435. So 1,400 to up to a 2,400 square feet. Hopefully that is something that would be of value to you and something that could be a good fit for you, because like we've touched on many times before, where does the new high school go whenever it gets installed? And we've only had 4 of those in Bend over the last 100 years, but more recently we've had 2 in the last 25 years that have opened. Summit in 2001, and now Caldera in, just about 3 years ago. So this is an aerial view of Bend, and what we want to do here is just give you an understanding as to where we're located. So Summit High School is right in this region over here. We're right over here. Let's see. This is where Summit High School is, just kind of like in this little area here. In fact, I'll go back to the satellite image to give us some better perspective. So Summit High School, going to be right here. That's Summit High School. All this area over here really broke ground, most of it, with the exception of like Valhalla Heights and maybe some Saddleback stuff out here just outside on the other side of Shevlin Park. All of that development took place in the year 2000 or after, in terms of when it was developed and when it became available for purchase. Summit High School coincidentally opened in 2001. So a new high school has just been opened on the southeast part of town. It's called Caldera High School. It's right here. Our development that we're focusing on today, Stevens Ranch, is going to be right in this little area here. So this is going to be Reed Market if it extends through. This is going to be Stevens Ranch on 27th Street there. So look, proximity to and from the new high school. I don't think that's a coincidence either. There's a big development right here going in right now. That's Polish Homes. That's Easton Subdivision. That's also right next to Caldera High School. So the development is ongoing. This is exactly what happened back in 2000, 2001. Homes were just going up like gangbusters over here on the west side. And now Bend's west side is one of the premier areas, one of the most desired areas, one of the most expensive areas to live in. So if there was somebody who was looking to purchase a home for the long haul and get in a little bit early, maybe on the ground floor as to when new developments and new parts of town get a lot of attention, this would be the area here. and this would be a project worth looking into, because this entire portion of town here over the next 20 years is going to be getting a lot of attention, and the city is really focused in on trying to get development pushed out to the east, pushed out to the southeast. There will always be new developments going on all over town, but right now a big focal point is going to be the southeast part of town, because it's needed more attention like this for a long time, and now it's receiving it. So I'm very curious to see not only what kind of residential developments get installed in addition to Stevens Ranch and, say, the Polish Home development down near Caldera High School, but also what kind of commercial goes in there too. What kind of character is Ben going to be receiving and adopting in the southeast part of town over the next 10, 20 years? And the first homes are going up right now. It's happening before our very eyes. I'm very curious to see what the price points are looking like. They'll be very comparable to homes in the area, of course, on the east side. But what happens too over the next 90 to 120 days as we go into September and as we go into the fall and winter season, the election season? There's been speculation that Fed interest rates are going to be cut next month by 0.25 basis points, or maybe even by 0.5 basis points. What will that do? What will that do to homes? What will that do to demand? What will that do to people looking to sell their home? There's a lot of people that have been sitting on the sidelines for the last several years because they have that COVID interest rate, a fantastic rate that they probably will never see again. And so they didn't want to give it up in exchange for 7.5%. Today we're at 6.5%. In a month or 2 months, could we be below 6%? I don't know. It's all possible. It's all relative. We'll just see what happens. But if we are going to have a reversal in terms of our Fed interest rate for the first time in over 4 years, what is that going to do to many markets, including real estate, people looking to make some sort of transaction in Bend or anywhere else for that matter? So people on the fence, very interesting times. So I got off on a tangent there, but I'm very curious to see how the timing of Stevens Ranch coincides with the possibility of further interest rate cuts as we go into the fall season. So going back to the map here, this is going to be the master plan map of what you see looking northbound up here, and then we have 27th Street goes north to south in this particular stretch. Stevens Road here, this is Stevens Road, this is Reed Market where it says Stevens Road. It's going to extend through, but this gives us that understanding of what's going on. This is the master plan here. This is all going to be commercial stuff right here up on 27th Street. Eventually, I heard a rumor that this road is going to be widened eventually, and we're going to have maybe dual lanes going both north and south. That's something that we would need, especially with the volume of people that will be moving into this area of town over the next several years. But you've got basically, you got the key here. It's going to give you the urban growth boundary. This is everything to the left here of this line I'm drawing is like the original 360. It's a great line. The 360 acres that have been annexed into the urban growth boundary already. And then this is the additional 250 that will probably be considered phase 2. That's probably 5 years away at least, but you can get an understanding as to what's going on here. What else is going to happen to the rest of this property, all this land out here once this is done? It's crazy for me to really think about, especially somebody who's driven this 27th Street for 30 years. I grew up on the southeast side of town, kind of out this way a little ways past the landfill. And so I drove this stretch of road when it was just forest forever, for 30 years. And not forest, but more like sagebrush, but just on the way to Costco. And Costco's going away too. So it just really shakes up the town landscape and everything. Here's another view of a master plan map. And this is looking to the west if we're looking up. So north would be to our left, but this gives you 27th Street here. And then it gives you all the zoning. Okay, these are all big plots of land here. This is 54 acres. This is 38 acres. This is 28 acres. Okay, the list goes on and on. It all encompasses 640 total acres. This is more like phase 2 up here. But it gives you a sensibility of what's really going on in Bend. I mean, this is nuts as far as like how big of a development this really is and where we're located on the southeast part of town. And so homes are up. You saw that. They're not for sale yet. They will be soon. If you're curious about this part of town before it becomes trendy, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to chat with you about where in Bend. It doesn't have to be Stevens Ranch, but we want to make sure you're aware of it before it becomes popular and famous, because at some point it's going to be more of a household name in terms of real estate development and homes available for sale in the Bend and Central Oregon area. And it's just breaking ground right now. Bend is blowing up. It's booming. It will continue to do so. If we see an interest rate dip over the next 30, 60, 90 days, it's going to even shake up the market more than what it is right now. We'll see a lot more people entering. Are you one of those people? Are you considering selling right now? Are you waiting for the perfect time to sell? Are you waiting to buy for that? Are you waiting for that perfect time to buy? Are you relocating? Reach out to us. Start this conversation now. We'll help walk you through it. We'll help you get to the finish line in a very smooth fashion. But it starts with you guys reaching out to us. So please call us, text us, email us, set up a Zoom. If you're local, let's go get coffee somewhere. We'll talk about your situation, and then we can figure out the best course of action after that initial consultation. So my name's Ryan. I'm a licensed broker with eXp Realty. Very thankful that you guys are here. If you haven't done so yet, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.